Remember last week, we promised you a complete review of our cruise during the pandemic? Well, guys, here it is. Today, we're going to give you an MSC Ship Tour, specifically of the MSC Grandiosa, as we saw it in April of 2021. And we're going to tell you all about it.
Fantastic. Stay tuned.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Rick.
And I'm Andrea. And today, we show you around the MSC Ship Grandiosa that we sailed last week in April 2021 during the COVID-19 pandemic. But first, if you like this kind of videos, now is a great time to hit the subscribe button so you will never miss any future videos. The MSC Grandiosa is absolutely beautiful, really nice. This ship can accommodate 4,842 passengers at double occupancy and over 6,300 passengers at full capacity. It has 1,704 cabins divided into suites, balcony, window, and inside cabin. It's 331 meters long, or 1,085 feet, and it can reach a maximum speed of 22 knots, which is 40 kilometers an hour or 25 miles per hour.
Not bad for a big ship.
Not bad.
Now, on our cruise, due to the COVID-19 social distancing requirements, we were running at a much lower capacity of about 1,400 passengers and 1,000 staff. That was amazing. Actually, we've never experienced such an abundance of staff. Like the staff-to-passenger ratio was incredible.
I know.
Speaking of which, check out this video for information about the cruising protocols on board the MSC Grandiosa, the safety protocols on board the MSC Grandiosa.
So guys, on board the MSC ships, there are 4 levels of service with different cabin location and different perks. Let's start from the beginning. The most basic one is called the Bella experience and has a cabin on lower decks and practically no perks at all. The second level of service is called Fantastica, and that's cabin located in a better area of the ship and the possibility of choosing your dinner time and breakfast in the cabin, which is okay. And then there's the Aura experience, which has the best cabin, drinking package built in, access to a thermal suite and a spa, and the reserved sun deck and priority embarkation. And finally, with the cream of the crop, the Yacht Club, which is practically a ship within a ship, with special restaurant, butler service, special sun deck, and special lounges. But we can't really talk much about the Yacht Club because we were just those passengers. We didn't buy it.
Yeah, we were in steerage.
And they didn't let go in and take some footage, so we have no idea what it looks like.
Folks, the MSC Grandiosa feels glamorous, bright, spacious, and it's so easy to walk around. And at the heart of the ship, you're going to find a main atrium. It has Swarovski crystal stairs that are so impressive. And the Galleria, it's on decks 6 and 7, where most of the shops, entertainment, and the specialty restaurants are. And on the ceiling, there's this giant screen that displays art like that you would see at the Sistine Chapel or other landscapes. And sometimes they even play video games with the passengers, so you can take a selfie and look at yourself on the ceiling.
That was fantastic.
Give us a like on this video if you think the Galleria is cool.
I think so. Okay, so there are 4 main dining rooms on board. Due to the low capacity that, thanks to COVID-19, only 2 of the main dining rooms were open. The dining rooms are very spacious, bright, with lots of windows. Well, the whole ship has lots of windows. The buffet on the Grandiosa is located on deck 14, and the area is quite big as well. Easy to walk around and very well laid out. The buffet is divided into areas, and every area has a different kind of food. The buffet also has plenty of windows with very bright and very nice scenery. Due to low capacity on board, the buffet was very limited when we were on board, and our impression, it might be quite different from what it normally looks like.
Yeah, definitely. And speaking of food, there are 4 specialty restaurants on board the MSC Grandiosa. First one, you have the Butcher Cut. It's a North American style steakhouse. Next, you have Ola, which is the tapas bar, Atelier Bistro, the French-inspired restaurant, and finally, Kato's Sushi Bar and Teppanyaki. We were able to try out 2 of the 4 because they only opened the restaurants on day 3 of our 7-day cruise. We tried the butcher's cut that we found pretty good, not amazing, but pretty good. And there were a few items on the menu that weren't available, and we found that very disappointing. They should have told us that in advance or at least marked it on the menu.
Absolutely. We also tried the Teppanyaki restaurant, and we were very fond of the entertainment. It was very entertaining. The cook was quite skilled, and it was quite fun to watch the show during the preparation. The food was, again, good, but nothing special. Some portion, not crazy. One thing that was worth mentioning, if you have the easy drinking package that's built in your fare, does not cover specialty dining room and some lounges around the ship, such as the cigar lounge, for example, or the Jean-Philippe chocolate shop. There is an upgrade available for about $10 extra, €10 extra per person per day to have all the venues included. But we ordered beer, which was included, and they didn't charge us. So who knows?
Yeah, I was expecting them to charge us, but that was a nice surprise. The entire ship has really big windows with a lot of natural light. It's really nice. And there are 2 main open deck pools and 1 enclosed with a retractable roof. The open deck pools are quite nice and big, even though we think that when the ship is at full capacity, it might be a bit of a challenge to find sunbeds. In fact, we think that when the MSC Grandiosa runs at full capacity, it would be a good idea to upgrade to the Aurea experience, because then you'll have a private pool deck, or the yacht club.
Or the yacht club.
One problem we noticed at the covered pool was that there are no pool beds, just chairs.
That was strange.
It seemed really odd not being able to lay by the pool.
We thought, due to the pandemic, MSC didn't want passengers to be lingering in the covered pool area. But we were wrong. The tables and chairs are normal. So, if you are thinking of taking a cruise with MSC and want to use the indoor pool, don't expect a sunbed.
Yeah.
There are several jacuzzis on different decks, making it extremely easy to find a spot in jacuzzi. Unfortunately, as we told you, we are not allowed to go to take footage of the yacht club open deck. So we can give you a review of this area. Apparently it's amazing.
Apparently, yeah. Who knows, right?
Who knows?
And on board, we did a great behind-the-scene tour of the ship, and it was very informative. In fact, this was the only excursion we were able to do. Unfortunately, we were not allowed to take any photos or video on the tour. In fact, we were followed around this guy who looked like Rambo, and we were told that if we took a photo, they would confiscate our phone. Seriously, the guy never smiled once. Anyway, instead of giving you photos and pictures, we're going to have a little fun, and we're going to draw what we saw. So folks, use your imagination.
First, the laundry room. It featured giant washers and dryer, like any giant laundry room. The washer could handle up to 100 kilos of laundry. Oh my God. And I thought ours was big for 8 kilos. This washer handled the bed sheets, towel, tablecloths, etc. But can you believe they had a separate washer and dryer for yacht club? First class get their own washer. Seriously, those were among the largest I've ever seen. And they had some automated folding machine for towels and linens. We have footage from a previous cruise on another ship.
Oh, yeah, so you can kind of get an idea what it looks like. Next, we saw the Galley. And for this stop on the MSC Ship Tour, the executive sous chef, Donald, showed us the pasta station. Did you know that they currently make 70% of the pasta fresh on board?
I know, it was fantastic.
Yeah, it was cool. And on this day, they were making something called gnocchi sardi. These are these little shell-shaped pastas and they're ideal for tomato sauce type dishes. I wish I could show you how they were making it, but guys, you get the idea. Then we moved on to this other area where they were making pizza for the buffet, and this secret area where they couldn't tell us what they were doing, but we could we had to make it up. Well, look, they were filling these little aluminum containers with food. We were like, very strange. What are they doing? Later, we found out that these containers were for the new staff, everyone who was quarantined on deck 8. There you go.
And next we're taken to the bridge. Again, we're frisked and checked for any medals, like at the airport. Wow, I've been on the bridge several times before and I've been experienced this. Well, maybe we can say MSC wants to show us that their tour are the most secure. Unfortunately, the captain wasn't present, so we couldn't meet the captain.
Yeah. Actually, we've never seen the captain.
No.
Yeah, well, actually, no, we did see him far. Later on the ship tour, we went to see the theater, and the theater holds 940 passengers. We think that if there are really 6,000 passengers on board, a theater for 940 is way too little. Maybe MSC wants the passengers to be elsewhere. I don't know. Anyway, in the theater, they showed us backstage where we saw all the LED panels and the lighting controls and the dressing rooms. Very cool. We also noticed, you remember that LED panel that was dead?
I know.
It was interesting because we saw a few shows and we didn't notice it. I guess that's the magic of the theater. They just keep the show going.
And finally, the engine room control. This was quite probably the last interesting part of the MSC Ship Tour. Because it was 3 hours long and we are 3 hours in and was getting a little hungry and tired. Anyways, in the engine room, there are these computer screens that controls and allows to control and monitor the old ship. And
allows them to control.
Allows them, sorry. Like the water cleaning, the water temperature, the engine temperature, all this stuff. But at that time I was so bored, I didn't really pay much attention.
Yeah, we just wanted to go to the buffet. And that was the end of our MSC Ship Tour. Let's move on and talk about our cabin. So as you know, we booked a balcony cabin with the Fantastica experience on deck 12. The cabin was well laid out. It was spacious and efficient. A few things in the cabin were really fantastic. And the first one, I think, was the shower. In fact, I think it was the biggest shower we ever had on a cruise ship.
It was fantastic.
It was as big as a normal hotel shower. Plus, the second great feature of the cabin was the huge amount of USB plugs around the room. They were everywhere. There was one by each bedside table and on the desk. And we loved that we were able to charge all our devices all at the same time. The third thing we loved in the cabin was the amount of electrical outlets and plugs. There were 2 European plugs and 2 North American plugs in the cabin. So that
Usually there's one for the whole cabin.
Yeah, that was a big surprise.
Now, let's talk about what we could have been better in our cabin on the MSC Grandiosa. First, the closet was quite small and it was not really organized, and there was a lack of hangers. The doors also didn't work really well. They were a little flimsy.
Yeah.
It didn't really need door.
No.
We also found that the huge couch in the room was a bit of a waste of space, actually. It wasn't really necessary and not very comfortable, and it took a lot of the room. Maybe it's for someone to sleep on, but it wasn't the pull-out couch, so I don't really know what it was there for. Other than those 2 little problems, we loved our cabin on MSC Grandiosa. Another thing that was just okay in the cabin was Zoe, the MSC virtual assistant. Let's say that it's very good wireless speaker, but nothing else. We tried to ask for things about it, but it wasn't really...
And actually, your phone had to be right next to Zoe for it to work.
Yeah.
So let's talk about other areas of the ship. So let's go to the casino. Very large, very well laid out, and has a good selection of tables and slot machines. But most of the tables were closed during our cruise due to the fact that the ship was at low capacity. And just beyond the casino was a small theater that used to be used for the Cirque du Soleil shows, but Cirque du Soleil went bankrupt. At the moment, it was used mostly as a little lounge for live performers. And in the other main theater, we got to see 3 different shows.
Yeah. Interesting, they were all singing show in English. So I'm not sure what's up with that. Perhaps it's because passengers don't speak English, so the music would be a good way to spend time. There was distance in the theater. Strangely, actually, because every other seat had a big X where you couldn't sit. It's strange for us because almost everyone is in a couple on board. So now, what about you can share the cabin, but you cannot share
The seat next
seats?
to you is very strange.
And guys, the ship also has a kid and teen section, which is quite big, and there's a pool at the back of this section.
Right, actually, it was at the back of the boat. There was a bar as well, which we had aperitivo, right, every day between 5 and 6:30, I think. And also in that area was the racing simulator.
And the bowling alley, the ship has a bowling alley with 2 bowling lanes.
Go figure. And the funny thing about the bowling, I think, is that only one couple could play at a time.
At this time, yeah.
And what was funny is that at least once or twice a day, we would get a notification on our phone saying 50% off bowling.
And finally, there's an Himalayan bridge, which I did, and the water park.
Yeah, actually, I didn't try the water park or actually either because it was kind of like a little bit cold for me.
Really cold.
But as you can see here with the Himalayan bridge, I mean, looks like this one was doing pretty well. 15 or 16 floors above sea level. Pretty cool.
It was very cool. Lastly, let's talk about the spa experience.
Yes. Regarding the spa, there was a thermal suite, mostly closed, a change room, and a jacuzzi that was, of course, empty. But like usual, I booked an 80-minute massage because, hello, who wouldn't want a massage? I would take yours. And the massage was quite good. The thermal area was supposed to be reserved for Andrea and me, but in the end, we couldn't use it thanks to COVID.
Sad.
Guys, we really hope you like this tour, this ship tour of the MSC Grandiosa.
Well, stay tuned because in the next video, we'll give you a review of the service that we found on board.
You'll be surprised.
You'll be surprised. Well, see you next time.
Bye, guys.